Are your Instagrams and your feeds and everything just completely littered with PGA Tour pace of play news? That's all I'm seeing right now. That's everything that's going around. Is that for you guys?
Mine's TGL.
Yeah, mine's TGL too.
Oh, well, good. You know what? That's a little more entertaining.
There wasn't even a tournament this past weekend.
Where, at TGL?
No, I'm just saying. It seemed like there wasn't even a
it
PGA
seemed like there wasn't. Yeah, because the news was dominated.
Yeah.
It's kind of true. Well, maybe these issues of pace of play is what's causing the lack of interest in viewership. Because it's starting to get a little out of control. I mean, what did they say? The winners last weekend was like a 5.5 hour round.
Yep.
That's a lot. It's a lot of golf. Gary, I mean, what are you playing a 5.5 round? Like what, like a scramble outing where they've got like every tee box doubled up with an A and a B and you sit and wait like 20 minutes between shots? Like 5.5 hour round is grueling.
Kind of insanity.
It is.
But I do it.
Well, yeah. I mean, you and I, we like to play for 5.5 hours. We just want to get more than 18 holes in.
Kind of like the warm up. Yeah, no, thank you at that.
You're all good on that. You're not trying to
3 to 4 hours would be wonderful.
What do you call it? The death march?
Oh, God, it's so bad. And then when you don't have darts and you're just like, and then when you buy them and you think you bought them and then you didn't bring them and you're just sitting there going every hole like this would be a perfect time for this.
Yeah, the only thing that is going to at least keep your sanity is if you're out there ripping heaters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it.
What's so funny is I just like was not in that mode at all because I haven't smoked in so long. When he said darts, I'm like, what is he? How does he got a dartboard out there? Is he like throwing darts? I'm like, I want to do this. This sounds like fun.
It'd be a great. You ever see these like accessory add-ons? Like I've seen one where it's like a punching bag that hangs from your golf cart to take your aggression out.
I've seen that.
Well, they should have one. It's called like golf course darts.
That's kind of fun.
And to like occupy your time, you're playing darts, but it's the pun on ripping heaters. I thought it was interesting. Lottie Pepper. She is sort of at this point a golf analyst, former tour player for the LPGA. She put out some very powerful words that I feel like were leading the way in this conversation. And this is how she said it, and I kind of appreciate it. She said, I think we need to, I think we're starting to need a new word to talk about this pace of play issue, and it's respect. Or in the words of, what was the rapper? He called it
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
No, he called it
Franklin.
respect. That was his
put some respect on my name.
Yeah, I got to get some respect.
What's her name again?
Lottie Pepper.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that okay?
I always thought it was Dottie. I was wrong.
Well, I thought it was Dottie too, but Josh wrote Lottie in my notes. So I just read.
He's wrong and it's Dottie.
Am I wrong?
Here's the thing. I am such like an android of a host. I read anything that goes on this paper,
you know
regardless.
What? It was a typo. It is Dottie.
And here's
Pepper.
what I'll say. In my text
okay.
message to you, I did say, hey, make sure we add Dottie's quote. And I actually thought I was wrong. I was like, oh, man, I'm glad Josh corrected me.
When it comes to,
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Gary,
I'll correct
thank you for
everybody.
setting the record straight. And
Thank
Josh,
you, Gary.
I will only hold this against you
Just a legend
until,
of the
I don't
game.
know, page 3. And after that, I will be completely over it.
Please
Oh, my
forgive us,
bad.
Dottie.
My bad.
Yeah. Wow. You know what? Cancel the show. Start it over. Let's take it back from the top because we've ruined everything. No, I think that's an interesting point. I mean, she's talking about it's beyond, just timeliness. It's about having respect. And I like that she says, for your fellow competitors, for the fans, for the broadcasts, all of it. It's just gotta be better. I don't know. I think that's an interesting point that you're getting to the point. I mean, we all know like tardiness, being late for anything. It's not about, hey, sorry, I was running behind, I ate up some of our time for the meeting. It's like, no, you're being disrespectful to everybody in the room. And,
why did you look at Gary when you said that?
I was here early by a day, so those balance out.
That's true. I'll take full responsibility for that one this week.
Listen, I only want to put Gary on blast one time during a show, and I'm saving it.
There we go.
One.
I'm just kidding.
Like 20.
But in all seriousness, though, here's something I don't really understand. Like,
yeah,
how does it take them 5.5 hours to play around? when they're not waiting on somebody in front of them. Like, I mean, what's going on that takes them 5.5 hours?
Well, yeah, I mean, even like when you're playing, you know, on a local golf course, they have rangers out there, and if they see pace of play is behind, they kind of usually cruise through and they can figure out who it is. Where's the big gap? If we see a hole or two with nobody on it, find the guys behind those hole or two, and they're the ones not keeping up pace of play. But I think the problem is it's becoming, you know, it's a cultural thing in pro golf. I mean, you see these guys out there doing aim point where they're like doing the feet and like the fingers and the feet and the fingers and the thing and the back and forth. Well, there was a picture from a tour event, you know, several months back where there was like 3 guys all on the green, like holding up the 2 fingers and doing the thing. They're not the only ones doing it. It wasn't a single group that's doing it. So I feel like it's starting to snowball. There's new things they're trying to understand with distances and wind and all this. And now with what's going on the green and green reading, and it's like, everybody keeps adding a new thing, and then everybody wants to do the thing that the other guy's adding because it's an advantage. And now all of a sudden everybody's doing 500 things, and golf is taking 9 hours to get through a round.
But so here's what I don't understand. So I just happened to pull up pace of play. This is from mayfieldgolf.com, and it's rule 6.7. So I'm just going to read it to you. It says, in Michigan PGA events, we define undue delay as taking more than 40 seconds to play a stroke. Like, so that's in the rules. I don't understand. How are you getting to do your thumb thing into this and then that?
That's
and the
what
500
confuses
different things?
me, is because didn't they set it up to where like the parameters of the timing was then continue like 4 hours? Like,
yeah. Well, and we'll get to this, but this week's TGL match, we saw that Tiger Woods had the first overage on time. We're not getting into that yet, but I just want to talk about, he was moving quick. He had nowhere to go. He was like already where he needs to be. He's got guys helping him read the putt. Those 40 seconds evaporated. There is not a player on any tour on this planet that can do aim point in 40 seconds. I could guarantee that. Impossible. Aim point's like an 11-minute process for these guys out there, and they're doing it over like a 2-foot putt.
Let me just say, when you're a fast player too, like I'm like, just hit the ball.
Yeah.
Like, do your thing.
I appreciate something Brooks Koepka said. They said, you're a fast player. What is it? Is it a conscious thing? Is it just from the way you've grown up? And he said, honestly, he's like, because I hit from a different place. He goes, for me, it's not about way overanalyzing. He goes, for me, I want it to be a reactive move. I look at what I need to do, and then I react. He goes, for example, crumble up a piece of paper, look at that garbage can over there, and throw it. He goes, chances are you're going to get it in or get it pretty close. But if I told you it was for, all the prizes in the world, and if you miss, you die, and you're going to get your elbow lined up just right, and you got to get your stance and make sure you keep your head down, chances are you're going to miss that wastebasket much more than you would have through a very natural reactive shot. And I thought that was interesting that, Brooks Koepka is a fast player, gets extremely frustrated with slow players, but all because he perceives his shot process differently. And I thought that was pretty cool to understand.
Yeah, but if you're taking 5.5 hours,
oh my God,
it's not only not reactive, it's just miserable. Like,
but I was like that. Yeah, you're right.
I know I'm not the greatest golfer by any means in the world, but the one thing I am is a fast golfer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean,
a car princess.
Oh, that's true too.
Now I do. What do you guys think about this? One of the solutions that they're looking at is the potential use of rangefinders.
Why not?
I mean, here's an example photo of Rory using it. He looks fine.
Rory.
Nobody's getting hurt.
I have a question for this.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What does this do to the caddies? Like, of course,
Makes
they
their
got to
job
carry the
easier.
bag, but like,
Well, but here's the thing. It's one of the steps in the process is to understand the number. The way they generally do that when they're not at a tee box where it's already like written on the board is they look for a nearby sprinkler head, and then they take paces back from that or forward from that, and then they kind of do a little bit of math, plus or minus 3 or 4 paces from whatever the sprinkler head said. Now I have my number. Then the work begins. Oh, Gary's doing a wardrobe change.
It's hot as Sorry. So hot.
Guns
No,
out.
I mean, listen, it's a heated topic, and I understand how you could get a little,
fuming.
start sweating over there.
I was playing in Alabama one time, and this kid was practicing for like a Corn Ferry tour, and like he was playing the back tees. I'm like, well, I'm playing the white tees because everybody else is. And he didn't care about this thing, but he was like playing like it was a sanctioned round, and I was like over there like, I'm going to Dexter you if you don't continue to not hit this ball quickly. Because like I am losing my shit.
Who's he doing aim point?
Oh my no, dude! And then he's got to walk back to 100 yards, and like I'm like, dude, just you have any concern about anybody else but yourself? Sorry about swearing. I'm going to calm down, but it.
Wait a second.
So don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Wait a second.
Wait, is this the one
You're
bird for the day?
mad that he wanted to play the back tees?
Well,
I will remember this moment
Oh
forever.
my god!
Right. Josh,
Remember
we're
when you were in
recording, right?
Yeah, we're
We're
live.
recording. Okay.
there's a difference though
Thank God.
between this is a sanctioned event that like has no.
I'd like to acknowledge
Yes!
here in the studio and everybody else involved that Gary got mad that somebody played the back tees. Thank you.
Can I borrow that this week?
No.
I want that.
Oh my goodness. Dan, you've got to get a sound effects board so you can just press the button
Thank
and
you.
it sounds like that.
I do.
For sure.
But on this pace of play topic from your tees of choice that makes golf more fun because you play from where you want, the rangefinder. So Josh, you're asking about what happens to the caddies.
Yeah.
Getting the starting number is a small fraction of the process. And the caddy is not integral to like getting that starting number. They're sort of like your brainstorm collaborative partner in what do we do with this information?
Okay.
So great. We're starting with, we know we're 230 yards out. Now we start working together. Well, we do have water up on the left, winds coming out of the right. We do have trouble behind the hole. It's better to be short than to be long. Remember, today's pin that I went and marched out yesterday is in the front corner. Everything's going to be feeding down towards it. So behind the pin is better than forward. So that first number is part of the caddy's job, but it is sort of a small piece in the pie of developing a shot plan. You putting the hoodie back
No,
on?
no. I'm gonna.
Oh my God.
No, you calm
Sorry.
down.
Got so much going on over here.
There you go.
All right, so I have a question for
Yeah.
you. So I understand that there's the 150-yard markers right over there, and
Yeah.
it looks like we're about 10 yards behind or 15 yards behind it. Are you telling me they walk to that and then walk that back to know the exact number?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah. Yes.
That's what we had to do in high school, and then you would have to know the green depth. So if you're looking at like a 30-yard green, you're 150 yards away, and the pin's in the back. You got to add like another 15 yards to it. So now it's 145 instead of 130.
Yeah, you literally see it like, generally like it's usually the caddy who does it, but they look around for the sprinkler head. And even if the sprinkler head isn't like in line with their ball, they go to it and take paces
Line it up.
forward
Yeah.
or back until they're parallel with it.
But-
do some quick math,
The precision
So-
of that, like the 1 to 3 yards difference, because if you do walk it off, you might be 1 or 2 yards off. But this thing's like precise, so I think that would help drastically increase.
Do you know how, like,
decrease scores?
NASCAR teams like practice changing tires.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you think these guys practice their pacing and then they go like measure it out and see like, do you have like a proper 1 yard gate to your step? Like, is
I
that
bet
what
you
they're
the good
doing on
caddies
like
do.
Tuesday? You know what I mean?
Well, no, they walk
I
off
mean-
the course like prior.
No. Practicing a step that always equals 1 yard.
Oh,
Because you
I
can't be like
guarantee you that they do.
1 1/4 yards on that step. I mean, over time, that's going to cost you.
I
Without a
will.
doubt.
I will say something though. I am waiting for the day if they bring these things on the tour. Waiting for the day for a caddy or a player to shoot a wrong flag or shoot the flag and it says something wrong.